very interesting transition in your lives. You probably feel pretty good for about the next 3 to 4 weeks, and then your anxiety levels will start rising. But that's part of it. It's part of being a physician. And it's not wrong to be a little nervous, but with time, things do get better. So we want you to be successful wherever you go, whatever residency you may be moving into. And we hope that the knowledge you've learned at UND will show up, and you'll find out wherever you're going that, hey, I'm as good as that person that went to whereverville. And you are. And don't ever forget that, because you're well trained and maybe better trained than many of the other big, well-known medical schools. So when you're finished with that training, our hope is that you will take your skill set and bring it back to North Dakota and help the citizens of this state. And that's really why we need a medical school in the state. If we did not have the medical school, we would not have the physician numbers that we presently have within the state. I'm still checking on it, but I have been told that there are only 46 schools or universities, colleges in the country that have both a medical school and a law school. And I did meet with the law school this morning. I didn't say anything about medicine, and I didn't tell them, leave the doctors alone, don't go into that kind of legal background. So the interesting transition that you have now is you've been in a grading system, and you had to do that to get to where you are, and you had to do that in medical school. The beauty now of becoming a resident and then a physician, no matter what you choose to do, whether you're in a private practice, you're with a larger organization, or you're doing research, you have many doors that open to you. But your skill set will not be based on how smart you are. It will be based on your communications. And the beauty of communication skills, if you don't have them, they can be taught. If you don't have a pretty good IQ, it's hard to give you more IQ. So you have to take that into account as you move ahead in your career. And you also have the ability to choose how high you want to go in your career. Even though they had a grading system in medical school, you can all be A doctors. And that's the beauty of that degree. So I wish you well. I think that I'm going to give you a 1-minute course in communication. And hopefully you've heard this, but maybe you haven't. There's 5 things. And I've worked with a lot of people through the years, physicians, non-physicians, and I've seen physicians fail. And usually if they fail, it's one of these 5 things. Number 1, if you don't know what to do and it's appropriate, smile. Number 2, be nice. Be nice to everyone, because that's how people judge you and evaluate you. They don't know how smart you are. Number 3, listen. Listening is a huge tool that helps us. And if you listen, the patients will guide you to the correct answer. It's out there. Number 4, make a difference. And then number 5, and I have to go and look at my notes, have a good attitude. If you have a bad attitude, people see it. And believe me, you're going to be stressed, and you're going to have stress no matter where you are in your career. And I've said this before, and I don't know if I've said it to any of you as students, but the easiest period of your time of becoming a physician was medical school. So remember that. You're going to have some days that aren't so good, but then do what makes you happy and you'll succeed. So that, congratulations. The state of North Dakota is extremely proud of you. I'm happy to be able to be here to represent the State Board of Higher Education. And I hope that when you finish, you come back to the best state, which is North Dakota. And if you can't, it's okay if you go to Minnesota. So good luck.
Thanks very much, Dr. Ryan. Good words. Medical school was the easy part, huh? Oh my goodness. To say that these past few years have been extraordinarily challenging obviously would be an understatement. You graduating students have persevered in the face of the worst pandemic the world has faced in over 100 years. And you not only persevered, you excelled. You have shown your true grit and have represented the school and North Dakota with honor and distinction. Even for those of you who are not from North Dakota, you have carried yourself as North Dakotans, and we are so proud of all of you. Today, almost half the physicians in North Dakota and just about 3/4 of the family medicine physicians in this state are graduates of the UND School of Medicine and Health Sciences and the residency training programs in the state. We have earned a national reputation for our commitment to rural medicine, and our students are welcomed at some of the most prestigious residency programs in the country. Ultimately, because of your school and you, North Dakotans benefit from accessible, high quality, and affordable health care when compared with many other states. The hope and promise that the people of North Dakota invested in us more than 100 years ago have been realized, and we look forward to achieving even higher levels of excellence in the next 100 years. Graduating today are 69 young men and women who have reached this point in their lives not only by virtue of their own hard work and motivation, but also because of the encouragement, support, inspiration, and love from their family and friends. Family and friends, thank you so much for joining us, either in person or by live stream video link. Students, please join me in acknowledging the sacrifices made by your parents, husbands, wives, children, friends, and others, and who have helped make your achievements possible. You may be interested to know that the students in the graduating class ranged in age from 21 to 37 years of age upon entering school. They came to medical school from throughout North Dakota and the region, from the state's largest cities to its smallest. Most of these students hold undergraduate degrees in biology or science disciplines, but others have academic backgrounds in areas as diverse as music, forensic science, and anthropology. Their varied backgrounds in interests, talents, and hobbies have helped to prepare them to be good physicians and will serve them well as they move into their professional careers. The vast majority of the class received one of their top choices for residency training after medical school. Our students will continue their education for at least 3 additional years of training. They are moving on for training in North Dakota, as well as the finest institutions throughout the United States. These graduates will be moving to the esteemed residency programs, such as the Mayo School of Graduate Medical Education. They will be found at residencies at the universities of Arizona, California, Colorado, Florida, Iowa, Michigan, New York, North Dakota, and, did I mention, North Dakota. For those who are going out of state, we invite you to come back to North Dakota to practice after you finish your residency training. Members of the graduating class are allowed to have mentors of their choice participate in the hooding process. Several of the graduates have elected to do so, and you will see this happen as the degrees are conferred and hoods are placed. The names of the hooding mentors are listed in your program. At this time, I would like to recognize several honored faculty members. In a large measure, the quality of our medical education program is dependent on the many physicians throughout the state who serve as volunteer faculty members. They have added and incorporated this teaching activity into their daily medical practice, and welcomed our medical students to learn from them and their patients. North Dakota is fortunate in that a larger proportion of physicians in the state are on our voluntary faculty roster than any other state in the country. More than 2 out of 3 of all the doctors in the state have a clinical faculty appointment at your UND School of Medicine and Health Sciences. The school honors some of these faculty members with the Dean's Special Recognition Award for Outstanding Volunteer Faculty. These individuals have gone above and beyond the call of duty in giving our students the benefits of their time, experience, knowledge, and wisdom gained from years for caring for patients. By example, they have served as superior role models and encouraged our students to define and adopt the highest standards of medical care. It is my pleasure to present the following volunteers with the Dean's Recognition Award for Outstanding Volunteer Faculty. Dr. Tana Setnes, Hoff's Clinical Instructor of Obstetrics and Gynecology. I would also like to acknowledge the outstanding volunteers who could not attend today. Dr. Jesse Fauntleroy, Clinical Instructor of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Ms. Carolee Harper, Instructor of Psychiatry and Behavioral Science. Dr. Joe Ellison, Clinical Assistant Professor of Psychiatry and Behavioral Science. The graduating class also selected the following outstanding physician teachers at each campus. The Northeast campus in Grand Forks chose Dr. Bernie Dahlem, Clinical Assistant Professor of Radiology. The Northwest campus in Minot chose Dr. James Schmidt, Clinical Instructor of Family and Community Medicine. The Southeast campus in Fargo chose Dr. Neil Karjalainen, Clinical Instructor of Surgery, and the Southwest campus in Bismarck chose Dr. Peter Clement, Clinical Assistant Professor of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Congratulations to each of you for the recognition and honor you have received. It is now my honor to introduce our faculty speaker as chosen by the class, Dr. Rome Hughes. Dr. Hughes previously was a clinical assistant professor of pathology at the UND School of Medicine and Health Sciences. He was a 3-time recipient of the Outstanding Block Instructor Award, a 2-time recipient of the UND Golden Apple Award for Excellence in Teaching, and recipient of the UND Portrait Award for outstanding support of medical students. He recently returned to his home state of Texas and is an associate professor at Texas A&M University. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Hughes.
I practiced the speech several times at home, and I felt very comfortable with it, but it never occurred to me to practice it with what felt like a tight rubber band around my head and a rope around my neck. So I'm excited about the physical challenges of the next 20 minutes. Guys, let me begin by saying how honored I am that you've asked me to come back and speak to you. I've missed you guys, and it warms my heart to see your proud, smiling faces today. Before I speak to you, if you'll allow me to talk to your parents, your siblings, your friends, your families, the loved ones that are here with you today, you owe an unrepayable debt to those individuals who are sitting behind you. They have sheltered you, nourished you, guided you, believed in you, loved you, and bled with you. You would not have made it to those seats right now without the support of these friends and family. To these loved ones in attendance, let me briefly introduce myself. I am a pathologist and I am a teacher. I taught your sons, daughters, spouses, friends, family during their second year of medical school. What our graduates have accomplished these past 4 years is an amazing feat, They've accomplished amazing feats before, as I'm sure you all have witnessed. But I think in a moment of honesty, if we look back at their academic accomplishments, nothing to date has yet been on the scale of a medical school graduation. In other words, what we're witnessing today is a celebration of the hardest, longest, toughest thing that they have ever done. So what is it exactly that they have done? Well, they have deprived themselves of sleep. They have locked themselves away in quiet rooms, free from distractions, to include yourselves, in order to overload their brains with knowledge of T cells and gene mutations, epidemiologic statistics, pharmacologic side effects. They have taken thousands, if not tens of thousands, of practice questions. They have watched hours, if not hundreds of hours, of videos. They have struggled through obscure research articles. They have poured themselves into flashcards. They have picked up medical instruments that they've never held before, and they tried to remain calm and composed and projecting a sense of control when in fact they were terrified. They have been corrected publicly and frequently. They have relied upon one another to build back each other's esteem. They have witnessed life and death, not figuratively, but literally, and it has changed them. They have passed course exams, board exams, shelf exams. They have cried, they have worried, they have suppressed their anger. They have on occasions failed to suppress their anger. They have felt mistreated and misunderstood. We should pause right here to remind ourselves that not only did they choose to subject themselves to these experiences, they went into massive debt in order to pay for these experiences. And they have wondered many, many times if they would ever make it here today. Some of our graduates, in a moment of honesty, might tell us that they don't really know how they made it through, how they juggled the mental expectations with the physical demands, with the emotional toil. But rather, they might tell us nondescriptly, I don't know, I just did it somehow. And that's because what they've accomplished transcends words or explanations. It is a lifetime achievement, or rather, I think the better way to say it, it is an achievement that defines a lifetime. Except that's not the whole story. What I've just outlined, all the hard work and blood, sweat, and tears, well, that kind of applies to any medical school graduation. But you guys didn't go to medical school during any just years. You went to medical school during the years of 2018 to 2022. You went to medical school during what I'll call the distinction of going to medical school during the greatest public health crisis in over a century. We all know the backstory. During late winter, early spring of 2020, COVID crossed the ocean and came to America. From that moment forward, our graduates' experience in medical school was irrevocably changed. I think of medical school as having a rich oral tradition, kind of like the early religions where knowledge is passed down from mouth to mouth because it's too dangerous to write it down. What I mean is the younger students constantly rely upon the older students in countless aspects. How do I pass this course? How do I deal with that attending? Where do I park? What do I wear? Will they let me eat? But all that advice is built upon a shared experience. Our graduates here today weren't able to call up a senior student and ask, hey, when the global pandemic hit during the middle of your second year, how did you transition from in-person to online classes? They weren't able to call up a friend and say, hey, when you started clinical rotations and the entire world was out of PPE, how did you still manage to have a valuable hands-on experience? Our graduates were in uncharted waters. Our graduates had questions, so many questions, and no one before them to provide them with clear answers. When I was a little kid, my parents took me to Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico. Anybody been? Okay. We spent a day at the big cave, the main cave, okay? And then on the second day, we went on an adventure tour to what was called the new cave. The new cave was remote from the big cave. It lacked the sophisticated touches. The big cave, it had an elevator at the bottom that would bring you back up. It had concrete steps. It had handrails. It had recessed lighting. It had signs to point you on your way. The new cave was left untouched. It had a natural, slippery rock floor. You had to carry your own flashlight because there was no lighting. There was the occasional rope where it really got steep to help you on your descent. When we got to the bottom of the new cave, the tour guide had everyone turn off their flashlights, and in the pure darkness, he told us a story. I have no idea if the story is true, but it has left a mark, and I remember it to this day. In the story, which took place 100 years ago, two spelunkers made their way into the new cave. They were either underprepared or maybe they simply lost their supplies along the way, but they found themselves lost and without supplies. They had a lantern, but no more lantern fuel, and all they had left was a single box of matches to try to get out of the cave. So what they did, one of the spelunkers would stand still, light a match, and hold it up. In that small amount of light, the second man would move forward, grab the box of matches, and go forward into the darkness as far as he could, provided by that little bit of light from the match. When the match went out, the man moving forward stopped. He then lit a match, held it up. The man behind him came forward, grabbed the box of matches, and went forward. And in this fashion, by leapfrogging one another, they made their way out of the cave. As the story goes, they made it out of the cave with a single match left. Here's my point. I went to medical school in the big cave, the main cave. It was dark, it was gloomy, it was a cool experience, but I had concrete steps, I had handrails, I had recessed lighting, and I had signs to point me on my way. You guys thought you were going to medical school in the big cave. By no fault of your own. Okay? It wasn't a conspiracy by the LCME or the administrators above you, but rather by the design of the universe, you found yourselves at the bottom of the new cave in the dark. With only a box of matches, a sense of determination and bravery, our graduates marched forward into an unknown darkness, and they have emerged to sit among us in the light today. As someone who had to personally look them in the face in the spring of 2020 and tell them, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know what you're going to do, I am so incredibly proud of what you did do and how you handled yourselves. You have shown an incredible strength of character, and I invite all of us to show our awe at the fortitude that they have demonstrated with a round of applause. All right, graduates, now I want to speak directly to you. When I was in medical school, I remember longing for graduation, and the reason why is because I had developed this anxiousness to earn the title of doctor. It was like a physical ache in my belly. One day I was going to be called doctor. And that's what I used as my motivation, my carrot dangling from the stick to pull me through clinics and through exams and through those interviews. On the morning of graduation day, I woke up. I thought, today is here. Today I'm a doctor. I didn't feel any different yet, but I told myself that's okay. Graduation is a few hours away. Graduation came and went. I was at dinner with my family. People were calling me Dr. Hughes. What would Dr. Hughes like to order? Can I buy Dr. Hughes a drink? And it wasn't what I had expected. I didn't feel any different, and I felt this great disappointment settling over me. I tried not to show it. I kept smiling and pretending to have a good time, but in honesty, my graduation day was really sad for me because I felt so let down to what I had been looking forward to. On that day, I didn't know why I felt that way, but I've actually spent many years considering it. I think I have a pretty good handle on it now, and I want to share it with you. Society views physicians in a certain esteemed light. We all know this. A 2019 poll by the Pew Research Society found that only 8% of Americans have negative views about physicians, only 8%. I think we can all agree in these charged political times that getting that many Americans to agree on the same thing is a truly remarkable feat. But sometimes it's not just positive feelings that society has for physicians. It transcends that. It rises to the level of what we would call hero worship. I'm sure we've all witnessed it. Just a few weeks ago, I was on an elevator in a medical tower. It was crowded. There was this nice woman in the elevator. She randomly started talking. She started telling us all about the doctor that she was on her way to visit up on the 20-something floor. She told everyone in the elevator how this doctor had saved her life, how he had saved her sister's life, how he had saved her neighbor's life, and how if we wanted to come with her to her doctor's office, he could save our lives in whatever way they needed saving. That's how she felt about her physician. Now go back to me in medical school. What was happening to me on that day is that I didn't feel like any sort of hero. I didn't feel like the societal version of what a doctor should be. I didn't see myself the way I felt society might see me, or another way to say it is I was aware of the gap between who I knew I was and who I thought society thought I should be. I had been putting all my faith in that title doctor to bridge that gap, to install in me my superhero powers. That title was supposed to be my mask and cape. I was going to walk across the stage, beginning at one end as Mr. Hughes and emerging at the other as Dr. Hughes, the physician superhero. Except that didn't happen. I walked off that stage as Dr. Hughes, but I walked off that stage still no more aware of how to bridge that gap between who I was and who I was expected to be. Now, what I'm talking about might sound familiar to you. It might sound like imposter syndrome, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, but I really don't think it is. I think there's a fine distinction. Let me try to clarify that distinction, and let me reemphasize that I am a pathologist and not a psychiatrist. So if you choose to ignore my opinions, you won't hurt my feelings. But to me, let's take society and let's take the physician. Imposter syndrome is commonly viewed as when the physician has feelings of worthlessness, low self-esteem, and that creates the gap between him or herself and society. But what I'm talking about rather is when society elevates its expectations, places expectations beyond that which most successful persons have to bear. Expectations that rise to the realm of the superhero. And thus the gap created is not the fault of inferiority originating from the physician, but rather the consequences of society's lofted expectations of who the physician is, of who you are capable of being. I was feeling the weight of that gap on my graduation day, and I didn't know how to bridge it. And I had just found that there was no superhero cape and mask to magically transform me. So what I want to share with you is what I think I've learned over the past decade to help you bridge that gap. The gap between who you feel like you are, sitting in those chairs, and who you are expected to be, roaming the hospital halls as this mystical figure of a physician, is going to encompass all aspects of your life. Let's take the big three and focus on them: the mental, the physical, and the emotional. I want to give you one piece of advice for each. The mental. Society comes to doctors looking for answers. You heard that just a second ago. Always looking for answers. Society has so many questions. You're going to get questions not just at work. Expect them at restaurants. Expect them at your kids' baseball games. Expect them at PTA meetings. When I moved to Texas last summer, I met one of my neighbors. She was a very nice elderly woman. She asked me what I did. I told her she was the block captain for the neighborhood watch, so she needed my email. I gave it to her. 48 hours later, I had an email from her with a list of all of her medical conditions and all these questions about treatment and prognosis. Okay. The gap is this: society may expect you to have all the answers. The reality is that while you are wonderfully intelligent individuals, and you should be so incredibly proud of your academic achievements to date, you still lack so much knowledge, and that is okay. Don't you dare walk into residency thinking you don't have more to learn. Your career has only just begun. You may not be in school anymore, but don't fool yourselves. You have chosen a career that keeps you in school for a lifetime. There's more. After residency, after fellowship, after 10 years on the job as a dean of a medical school, you're still not going to know it all, and that is going to be okay. There are days when not having those answers are going to feel like a gut punch, I promise you. But you handle it like this. You say, wow, what a great question. I don't have the answer for you right now, but I'm going to find out, and I'm going to get back to you. And then you do it. You look it up. You research the topic. You get back to that person with their answer. The point is, it is okay to admit that you don't know, but never let pass an opportunity to learn. Dr. Kemp is sitting somewhere behind me. I'm assuming we all share the same love, respect, and admiration for Dr. Kemp. I'm assuming for all of us, Dr. Kemp embodies exactly what we think an educator should be. And you know what Dr. Kemp does when you ask him a question and he doesn't have the answer. He doesn't try to fake it. He doesn't try to worm his way out of the situation with half-truths or by talking over your head. He readily admits, wow, I don't know, but I'm going to get back to you. And then I know you know by firsthand experience what happens next. By the next day, if not within a few hours later, you have an email from Dr. Kemp, and he has the answer for you. I challenge you to be that person. Physically, society views doctors as indefatigable. There is perhaps no more invasive stereotype of the doctor than the tireless midnight worker. 16-hour days, piece of cake. 100-hour weeks, no problem. We as physicians are perhaps the biggest culprits of perpetuating the stereotype with our own machismo attitudes and bravado. We tease each other. How can you be tired? Come on, get up. There's work to do. You can rest when you're dead. The gap between what society expects and what we can accomplish is obvious. It's a matter of physical energy. The reality is that you will not always possess the necessary energy to satisfy your patients, your peers, your residency directors, your hospital administrators. You are going to be exhausted, and that is okay. What I charge you to do is to prepare yourselves for the physical challenge that lies ahead. You must take care of your bodies. In this respect, you are really no different than a professional athlete. You are going to have to depend upon the physical abilities of your bodies to accomplish your skills during very long hours and during awfully grueling shifts. My advice to you is rather simple. Get your 7 to 8 hours of sleep. When you can't, take a nap. Eat healthily and find an exercise routine that fits your life. You're still going to be tired. You will still have exhausting days, but now you can face those days with a clean conscience. And I promise you that's going to make all the difference. Emotionally, I'm not sure society has expectations for the emotions of a doctor other than that a doctor should be rational, level-headed, cool, calm, composed. And aren't those all descriptors of a person who doesn't have or isn't showing emotions? Patients and family members are dealing with tragic, life-threatening, life-altering experiences. They come to the doctor to be reassured and made to feel better, not to deal with or witness the emotions of the physician. So the gap is this. Society views doctors as capable of not having, or at least being able to adequately suppress or control their emotions, pretty much at all times. Here's the reality. You are going to have patients you wish you'd never met. You are going to have coworkers who make your everyday existence a living hell. You are going to watch soulmates pass away from one another. You are going to watch parents struggling to cope with the illness of their innocent child. These experiences are going to affect you. These experiences are going to elicit strong emotions within you. Your challenge in handling this is threefold. Number one, you must allow yourself to have these emotions. You cannot fall into the trap of thinking you must be emotionless, and you cannot try to suppress or stuff these emotions into the dark recesses of your subconscious. Number two, having allowed yourself to have these emotions, it is now both your professional and civic responsibilities to learn how to manage them in positive, constructive ways. Again, exercise, talk to your peers, lean upon your family, and when necessary, consult a mental health professional. Number three, if you are struggling to manage these emotions, then it is no longer a recommendation to talk to someone. I, your former professor, mandate that you go and talk to someone. If you haven't been paying attention to now, listen to what I'm about to say. I think it's the most important sentence of my speech. Your emotional health is going to be the single largest factor in determining your career longevity and your perceived sense of career satisfaction. It is never a sign of weakness to admit that you need help in managing your emotions. It is always a sign of strength. Possess that strength. So, in summary, I'm a teacher. We summarize at the end. We give you your little bullet points. Number one, society may expect you to know everything, but in reality, you never will. To bridge that gap, you acknowledge what you know and what you don't know, and you forever possess the mentality that every single day presents you an opportunity to learn something new. Number two, society may expect you to be tireless, but in reality, you are going to be exhausted. You're going to be more exhausted than you want me to admit to you right now. To bridge that gap, you start, not today, I'm going to let you have today in your celebration, but you start tomorrow to prepare yourselves. You start focusing on proper rest. You dedicate yourself to good nutrition. You embrace exercise as a necessary component of your life. Number three, society may expect you to be stoic, but in reality, you are going to have so many strong, so many painful emotions, and you are meant to have them. You aren't meant to hide from them. You are meant to acknowledge them and to learn the skills and strategy to cope and deal with them in a professional manner. And when you are struggling to do so, you must ask for help. Never be afraid to ask for help. Graduates, 10 minutes from now, doctors, I don't have superhero masks and capes to hand out to you today, but you don't need them either, because in here, and in here, and in here, you already have all the skills you need to be the physician that you want to be and that society knows you can be. I believe in you. The administrators, faculty, and staff of UND believes in you. Your parents, spouses, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends, and family believe in you. Most importantly, believe in yourselves. Thank you for your time and attention.
Wow. Thank you for that inspiring and uplifting address, Dr. Hughes. Words to keep in mind as we all move forward. Thank you again. I would now like to invite the soon-to-be graduates to please rise for the pledging of the Oath of Hippocrates, which is printed in the program. I would also like to invite any of the physicians in our audience, on stage, or watching on live stream who would care to do so to rise as well and join us by re-swearing the pledging of the oath. Please rise. Any physicians in the audience or on stage who choose to do so, please rise as well. Colleagues, please take the oath with me at this time. Today, in the presence of family, friends, teachers, and colleagues, I dedicate myself to the profession of medicine. I pledge myself to the service of humanity. I will use my skills to care for all in need without bias and with openness of spirit. The health of my patients will be my first concern. I vow to hold sacred the bond between doctor and patient. I will hold in confidence all that my patients entrust to me. I will strive to alleviate suffering. I will respect the dignity and autonomy of my patients in living and in dying. As a physician, I recognize my duty to society. I will work to promote health and prevent disease. I will advocate for the welfare of my community. Even under duress, I will not use my knowledge or my skills against humanity. I will acknowledge my limitations and my mistakes so that I may learn from them. To uphold these responsibilities, I will maintain my own well-being and the well-being of those close to me. I will promote the integrity of the practice of medicine. In the tradition of my profession, I honor all who teach me this art. Through honest and respectful collaboration with my colleagues, I will uphold the highest standards in the service of patients. I will seek new knowledge, re-examine ideas and practices of the past, and teach what I have learned. Above all, the health of my patients will be my first concern. This oath I take freely and upon my honor. Please remain standing.
The candidates for the degree in the School of Medicine and Health Sciences will be presented by Dean Wynne.
President Armacost, these candidates have completed all the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Medicine. I, therefore, have the honor of presenting them to you for the conferring of this degree.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the State Board of Higher Education, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Medicine, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Students, please be seated and move at the direction of the marshals. Thank you.
Jordan J. Barth. Bradley John Conant. Allison Joe Craig. Samantha Diane Fabrizio.
Congratulations. So proud of you. Well done.
Alexandra Grace Hopkins.
Alexandra, congratulations. Well done. So proud of you.
Hunter Patrick Huff Toll.
Hunter, congratulations. So proud of you. Well done.
Luke Marcus Keller.
There it is. Luke, congratulations. So proud of you. Well done.
Adam Judd Kemp.
Adam, good job. Congratulations. So proud of you.
Mariah Lynn Mack.
Congratulations. Well done.
Lalangi Shanika Marasinga.
Congratulations. It's great to see you. I'm so proud of you. Well done.
Sarah Leone Pippin.
Congratulations. We're so proud of you. Well done.
Sarah Elizabeth Rasmussen.
Congratulations. We're so proud of you. Well done.
Casey Allen Ricker.
Well done. Congratulations. We're really proud of you. Well done.
Nolan Gregory Schwartz.
Good job. Congratulations. So proud of you.
Rachel Ann Silky.
Rachel, congratulations. So proud of you.
Cole James Sogi.
Congratulations. Well done. So proud of you.
Jonah Michael Warwick.
Congratulations. Well done. Proud of you.
Ashley Nicole Bartlett.
Ashley, great job. Congratulations. Well done.
Michaela Nicole Brettschneider.
Kelly, great job. Congratulations. Well done.
Andrew B. Brown.
Great job. Congratulations. Well done.
Jessica Marie Caruth.
Dr. Caruth, well done. Congratulations.
Kemen Sue Fina.
Great job. We're so proud of you. Well done.
Michaela Dawn Fornes.
Dr. Fornes, well done. Congratulations.
Bethany S. Freeland LeClaire.
Congratulations. We're so proud of you. Well done. Very great. Well done.
Ashley Gao.
Great job. Congratulations. So proud of you.
Ramee Anne Marie Harpstead.
Congratulations.
Katrina Elizabeth Johnson.
Great job, Katrina. Well done. Congratulations. So proud of you.
Carissa Shanti Claridge.
Carissa, great job. Congratulations.
Eric R. Livia.
Good job.
Jared Paul Magnuson.
Jerry, great job.
Edmund Yang Njua.
Well done.
Marcus Robert Osman. Andrew Michael Pasick.
Great job. Congratulations.
Anne Lynette Sandstrom.
Great job. Congratulations.
Mackenzie Stenjum Titus.
Great job. Congratulations. Proud of you.
Matthew Dwayne Amundson.
Great job. Congratulations. So proud of you.
Seth Clifford Arntz.
Great job. Congratulations. Well done.
Hayden Joseph Broderson.
Hayden, great job. Congratulations. Well done.
Margarita Selena Hugo Consing.
Great job. I'm so proud of you. Well done.
Mariah Star Cooper. Okay.
Great job. Congratulations.
Hannah Linnea Drazenovich.
Hannah, great job. Congratulations.
Jesse J. Ewald.
Jesse, good job. Congratulations. Well done.
Kirsten Delandra Hager.
Kirsten, great job. Congratulations. So proud of you.
Donald Dean Ham.
Great job. Congratulations. Well done.
Mega Ala Mudareddy.
Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. Well done.
Destiny Min Wynne.
Destiny, great job. Congratulations.
Ryan James Norris.
Ryan, great to see you. Not too long. Well done.
Zachary Jacob Podal.
Great job. Congratulations. Thank you very much. So proud of you.
Austin David Promisberger.
Austin, great job. Congratulations. Big day for you.
Joshua Stephen Roback.
Hey, great job. Congratulations. So proud of you. Well done.
Mitchell Gregory Sand.
Great job. Congratulations. Very proud of you. Well done.
Jared J. Schomer.
Hey, Jared, great job. Congratulations. Well done. Excellent.
Daniel Peter Todorovich.
Daniel, great job. Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Abby Marie Wilmer. Andrew Carmen.
Okay. So, the speaker, the other, okay, keys.
Emily June Falcon.
Emily, congratulations. We're so proud of you.
Veronica Nicole Harrison.
Congratulations. Proud of you. Well done.
Abby Lane Jessel.
Abby, great job. Very proud of you. Well done.
Matt David Kretschmar.
Matt, awesome job. So proud of you. Well done.
Christina Lynn Krieger.
Great job. So proud of you. Well done.
Erica Isabel Mahika.
Congratulations. Well done. Yeah, super job.
Sean M. Montgomery.
Hey, Sean. Congratulations. Very proud of you. Well done.
Anne Renner.
Congratulations.
Nora Ann Ramatsky.
Great job. Very proud of you. Well done.
Tanner J. Simonson.
Great job. Yeah, great, thanks.
Signe Laura Peltier Thorpe.
Signe, all the best. I'm so proud of you. Well done.
Unfortunately, could not attend the ceremony today. Celeste Colgrove, Francis Landman, Marcus Cooley.
Well, there was some pretty good applause by individual families, so congratulations to those, but I think a collective applause for this entire group is warranted. Let's hear it, everyone. Come on. There we go. That's awesome, a sign of great respect for everything that you've accomplished. And I know that you have thanks for folks as well, right? All the family members who got you here, and in particular, all the faculty members who are seated behind me. How about a round of applause for our faculty members and our administrators? Well done. Well, when Dr. Wynne gave me notes for what I should say today, here's what the notes said. It said, presidential brief remarks. And then it said, President will briefly give brief remarks. So I got the hint, Josh. And I just wanted to, again, say congratulations. I had some comments and when Dr. Hughes was speaking, I realized I should change them. I was going to call you all superheroes. But I won't. But I do have that view of what you're about to do. I know I and family members and everybody in this room has sought medical care. And I think when I combine the caution about calling you superheroes with the oath of Hippocrates that you just read, what I realize is what made my physicians superheroes in my eyes is their willingness to listen, as Dr. Ryan said to start today, is their willingness to really give me the care, the human care that I felt I needed. And I know that's true for everybody in this room who has sought physician's care. So as you seek to become superhuman superheroes, know that the advice that our two speakers today gave you is at the core of what it means to be a physician. And I can't get enough of the Hippocratic Oath. I tell you, any profession that commits to those very human statements and the contribution to others is something worth repeating over and over again. And as you come to ceremonies like this, hopefully when you raise your hand and join other medical students in reciting that oath, what goes through your body is that tingle that you probably felt today about what it means to be a physician. So congratulations to each and every one of you. You're going to do amazing things. You're going to represent the University of North Dakota and our School of Medicine and Health Sciences so well throughout your careers. Congratulations, everyone, and congratulations to all the family members who are here today. Thank you.
Thank you, President Armacost, for those comments. and thank everyone for participating today. I'd like to ask the audience members to please remain in your seats until the ushers direct you out. And one more time, I'd like to ask the class of 2022 to please stand and face the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, it is again my honor and pleasure to present the class of 2022. Congratulations. Thank you all. Please be seated and enjoy the rest of the day. Congratulations, all.